So what is metalwork?
Metalwork is an umbrella. Under the umbrella of metalwork, everything else falls. Architectural metalwork, structural steelwork, all of it falls under that. As soon as you cut a piece of box section or flat bar or sheet, you've worked the metal. That's metalwork. What happens to it from there depends on where you go. But yeah, essentially metalwork is just the umbrella.
I'm Gary Webb, I'm the technical director here at Ultimet Alloys. Many years ago I was another fabrication company. I used to buy my materials from James, and that's where our relationship started, if you like. And then we started getting very simple fabrication jobs from James, and that's when he started to quote the larger project. And I joined the company and we started fabricating here. So this is a Mikau CNC milling centre. This will allow us to do up to 4 metre lengths internally, or we can go longer than that by going out the end of the machine. So we could do up to a 6 metre length, for example. We can spin it around. This will mill, drill, tap, cut, you name it, on all the 4 axes that we need. Totally controllable by CAD, obviously. So this could be pre-programmed in the office or programmed here. And it's just a very, very accurate piece of kit.
So when we generalise the term architectural metalwork, what does that actually mean within the industry?
Well, architectural metalwork takes a lot of forms, but architectural metalwork is essentially design-driven metalwork. So it's metalwork that has an aesthetic, metalwork that has to do something beyond just be functional. It has to look good. Structural steelwork is metalwork, but it's structure. It only has to do its job. It only has to hold something up or down. But architectural metalwork is driven by design aesthetic. So we have to look at what architects want and then design them what is possible within the bounds of their budget and within the bounds of what the metal is willing to do.
So are there any design constraints when it comes to architectural metalwork?
I think it's necessary to start looking at what your final finish is, the desired final finish, and work back from there. For example, if you want an anodized final finish, if that's the look, then you have to be aware that welding the aluminium before you anodize it is going to create different colors in that material. So you have to keep everything as sort of a separate part. So you don't want to be doing any welding on something that's a final anodized finish. You have to think about what the sheet length is that's available for it. There's no point in designing something then 1.2 mil thick that has got to be welded to create a 12 metre long desk. Because you're not going to get a 12 metre long desk. Even if you couldn't fold it. And you've then got to weld that 1.2 mil, and then you're definitely going to get witness marks from that weld, no doubt about it. It won't look good. There's a lot of design constraints that go around it. So what we have to do is, in the early stages, is manage expectations about what are the limits of the material the client's chosen, and how can we make that look as good as possible without changing that. We'll do all of that type of work. We will do folding work, we'll do welding work, we'll do machining work, we'll make people specialist doors, specialist windows. For example, with Amron, we've made some feature mesh panels, which have gone in our latest big project, which is a £2 million project. But the range of what we can do is really only limited by the imagination of our clients and by specific nature of the metal that they want to use.